Hello everyone, this is Warlord. We're going to work with placing the cloth on the head today. So before we do that, let's go ahead and get set up. I've got Chuck here, and I've got his hair off so he won't have to mess with it since his hair sticks up. You can get all this to work with the hair, but we're not going to take that time to do it right now. Let's go ahead and let's load our ball prop. Since we can't directly interact with characters yet, and I don't think it'll be very long before we can, we have to use dummies. Now I'm using a sphere dummy so you can see the bounding type better. Actually, there's a lot less faces in using a box, because what matters is not what the dummy itself is, it's what type of a bounding box you're using. So let's go ahead and turn this on. Activate the physics. We're going to make it kinematic. And you see what I'm talking about by bounding type. That's what actually interacts with the cloth. So if we make that a sphere, we'll get a little different. Or a capsule, if it's stretched out, we would get a little different. In this case, we're going to leave it a sphere. And we're going to attach it to the head. Okay, now let's go load our cloth. We'll load the one with 5 points. Let's go up here and rotate it 270. Move it up. And let's just scale it to 30%. That's 30%. Okay, right now I am going to hit Shift D to turn the dummies off. I'm not going to really use the dummies for this. Make sure I've got the cloth selected. And what we're going to do is use a control panel that is under development and is not yet supported by Reallusion. Wasn't really supposed to be released, but it's already been released in some other tutorials out there. It's alternate Shift S to bring up your soft body advanced settings. And what we're concerned with here are the pinnings in this group here. This is what allows you to turn on and off and select what you want to be pinned to. Now in this case it's pinned to the 5 points, the 5 dummies that were there. We're going to unhook those. Now it's actually point 4 is the one that's in the center, fixed 4. So we're going to go to fixed 5, deactivate it, go to fixed 4, hit pick target, and pick the ball. Now you're already starting to see a big difference there. One more time. Okay, now let's shape our ball a little better. Turn that off, turn the physics on so we can see the bounding type. Switch our axis from capsule X to capsule Y. Now you'll notice as you start shaping these things, start scaling them, that bounding meshes don't scale quite like the original mesh. There are limitations to it. Now that may be a bit small. Oh, no, that's not too bad. Let's go back and grab our cloth. Turn on soft versus soft collision and self collision. That's holding it up a little more. Let's go up another one on self collision. There we go. That's not bad. Okay, let's look now at cloth positioning. Let's move it back just a little. Just a little more. We don't want it to slide off, but we do want it to stay on there. And let's move it up just a tad. Now you got to remember too, you're also changing the point in which you're attaching as far as moving it back. Well, that's not too bad for demonstration purposes. As you can see, we're getting a draping motion finally. So we'll come back up here and stretch this out a little bit. See how that works. Okay. Let's come back up and adjust our bounding mesh. There we go. Back to our cloth, increase that one more. Self-collision. Alright. Okay, we've got that much done, but now we've got some pretty severe penetration on the shoulders. So, until they, once again, bring us characters and interact, we're going to have to go add another dummy. Now we'll size this dummy and place it here. Now to really do any good, we might as well activate the physics because that's what we're going to be using it for. In this case, I'm either going to be using a cylinder or a capsule. Most likely a capsule. And now you see why. We don't really care how the box is shaped. We just care how the bounding type is shaped. We make that kinematic. And now we're going to attach it to spine 1. Okay, now let's take a look and see what we've done. Well, what do you know? Oh, we got a little bit of penetration back here. What's going on? Ah, you can see. We need to do a little bit of adjustment. Still not quite enough. May have to do some scaling here. Because now we may have it around the front, which I believe we are going to have. Right there, just a little. So let's bite the bullet, scale it just a tad. There we go. Oh, a little bit more over here. But you can see where if you just keep adjusting, you're going to eventually get it adjusted out. You can see right there, penetration. But just keep scaling, keep working with it. Because this is what we actually have when we rig the thing. But there you have the general idea of how to avoid collision. Okay, now let's see how well this works when he's going places. Is he going to stay in place when he walks? I got a feeling it will, or I probably wouldn't be showing you. Now, I was just about to make a mistake. In order for the cloth to drop and kind of settle properly, let's give it a little bit of time.